What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today's video, we're going to do a couple of things. One, we're going to cook something that I haven't cooked in a while, and that's these big beef dino ribs. And two, we're going to try out a new rub from my brother Kenneth over at North Texas BBQ Addicts. His smoke shake sent me a bottle, just got it in the mail today. Out of the container. This is really good. I think this is gonna go excellent on these beef ribs. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get them seasoned up, throw them on the Weber Kettle, and see how they turn out. I think this is gonna be good. Let's get started. All right, you guys, so what we have here is this is right at about 5.5 pounds. These big beef ribs. See the marbling in here? This is actually USDA choice. But man, oh man, that stuff looks good. Look at that. These things are thick. Easily nearly 2 inches thick here in this end. They're gonna, on this back end, will be a little thinner, but man, that looks nice. So what I am going to do is I am going to do some trimming on this. I'm not going to remove the membrane in the back. However, some of this fat you see here, I am gonna take my knife and just kind of shave that fat off because it's pretty thick. You can see I can leave an imprint with my finger in here. So I am gonna shave some of that off, but I'm not aiming to remove the membrane. I'm gonna get off the fat on the top here. And then on this end here, probably not gonna go too low. You can see it's not, the fat is probably the same, or the fat is probably the same thickness as the meat. So I'm gonna leave most of that on there, but it is kind of hard, so I am gonna take off a little bit of it. But let's get the skin removed, or the fat removed from the top. We'll get a smear on there, a binder, and then get them seasoned up. All right, so I'm just gonna take these and start cutting some of this fat off. I'm not going to show the whole process, but you kind of get the idea. And I want to expose this meat so we could get that rub on the meat and not just a fat cap. It's got the silver skin on here that I want to make sure I get off. So I'm going to work on getting all of this off. I'll show you, got this meat underneath the silver skin is actually looking really, really nice. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I'm done trimming it up. So I will pick back up in just a bit. All right, you guys, I got these ribs trimmed up as much as I'm going to. I took off more fat here that I was planning on, only because as I kept cutting, I could, even right now, this is still kind of hard. However, I'm just gonna leave it at that point, but you see that marbling striations in the meat. I mean, it's just a really good piece of meat. So we're gonna get a smear on here and then get it rubbed down. All right, so for the smear, what I like to use is some Parquet. Let's get a little bit of Parquet on there. And I mix that with W sauce, some Worcestershire. For beef, this is probably my favorite smear for beef, if I'm going to use one. So, should get all the sides. Take this rub, the smoke shake from North Texas BBQ Addicts, brother Kenneth, and we're just going to give this bad boy a really good coating all the way around. Now, if you guys aren't following Kenneth, I will leave you a link below to his channel. Make sure you guys go and follow him. And if you're looking for a really cool barbecue Facebook group to be a part of, I'll leave a link to the North Texas BBQ Addicts. I know some of you probably can't see, but anyway, just gonna season this top really good. I'm not gonna season the bottom. There isn't any meat down there, so no need to do that. Good, I'm gonna give it a good coating. That smells Man, it just smells like a really good Texas rub. Tasting it out of the container. It just tastes really good. Where'd I do with my knife? Quick second. Got this little fat piece hanging off here. And then we're gonna touch this spot up real quick. That's it. We're gonna let this rub sit. I'm gonna go fire up my Weber Kettle and use some pecan, however you pronounce it, where you're from. In Texas, it's pecan. So let this sit. We get the Weber fired up. We'll get these on. I'm really looking forward to this cook. I think it's gonna be muy bueno. I'll pick back up in just a bit. All right, you guys, I just put the beef ribs on. Now this thing is not up to temp. That's probably barely 100 degrees right now. But I'm someone who, like some people will wait till it comes up to temp before putting the meat on. I don't. The reason for that is you see all that smoke rolling right now? This, while it's coming up to temp, your meat can be taken on, start taking on that smoke. It doesn't have to be at the temp just yet in order for you to put your meat on. So I always put mine on and just let it come up or sit there as the pit is coming up to temp and just let it take on that smoke. So when I close it, you'll see all this smoke coming out here. That's just hitting those ribs. And again, it isn't going to start cooking, but it's going to start taking on that smoke. So we got it set. Right now, top vent and bottom vents 100% wide open. Once it starts coming up to temp, I'm going to close the bottom vents halfway, the top vent halfway, and that should run me about anywhere from 270 to 280, which is going to be perfect. So we will check back in about an hour and see what they look like. For you guys, we are an hour and a half in. This bark is starting to set. I'm going to spritz it. Just got some apple juice. We're gonna let it keep going. We got a storm coming in. It's about to get really wet out here. So, not sure how much longer I'm gonna be able to film out here. You can see we're getting some nice pullback already. I'm gonna rotate these ribs also. Sorry for the bad camera work. That's it. I'm gonna rotate them, get the lid back on, and let them keep going. All right, guys, these ribs are ready to wrap. This bark is set. We've been going just under 3.5 hours. And I could tell just by the bark and the pullback that my temp, while I was trying to keep it around 275-ish, that it was definitely cooking at minimum 300 degrees. We had a storm come in, the winds kicked up, and so it cooked a lot hotter than originally planned, which is quite all right because I'd like to get these done fairly soon. But this bark is set. We got some really good pullback here. What we're gonna do now, and I don't even know what the temp currently is because I don't wrap the temp. I wrap, once that bark is set. In fact, where's my Thermapin? Oh, here it is. I'm going to take a quick peek at this temp. I'm going to guess it's in the 170s. It's going to be my guess. I don't know if you guys can make that out. Oh, that's 185. Holy crap. That's in the 180, 171. So, yeah, I still have some ways to go. I can tell it isn't as tender as I would like. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap it up with some butcher paper, get it back on the Weber Kettle, and let it go until it's probe tender. My guess is gonna be about another hour, maybe an hour and a half. We'll see. So I'm gonna get it wrapped up, get it back on the pit, and next time I pick up, they should be done. We'll take a look at it and give them a taste. All right, you guys, these ribs I think they're pretty much done. They feel tender. They're reading at about 206. You can see there. Let's go there. Let's see, 207, 208. So, yeah, these things are pretty much, oh, that was a bone. 209, you can make that out. So these things are done. We're gonna let them rest for a little while, probably about 30 minutes, and then we'll cut into them and see how they taste. All right, so these ribs have been resting for a little over half an hour. We're gonna get them opened up or unwrapped, and see what they look like. Well, you know, I was trying to not get that bottom board dirty, but oh well. Whew. Let's see what they look like here. So, oh wow, they are tender. Let me do this here. I'm gonna try to pull them out. And these bones are already starting to want to come out. Oh yeah. This last bone is already falling out. Gonna do that. We'll set those there. Get rid of this. Sorry about that. Yeah, look at that. This bone already came right out. Wow. So let's well, this was a bone that's supposed to go here. I'm gonna put that right there. We're still gonna cut it. Let's get these cut up and see what they look like. All right, well, this, like you saw, this bone's already gonna come off, so I'm just gonna pull that out and then just cut what would be that bone right there, right? Gonna move that meat aside, cut in between these two bones. Oh man, that is tender. Tender. Oh, good gosh. Whew, they smell good. Let me, take a look at this. All right, so here's one of these ribs. Look at that. Hope you guys are picking that up. Oh man. Tender, juicy. Yeah, this thing is just dripping. Good gosh. Let's take a look at this one here. This meat is looking like it wants to fall off the bone too. See the juice on this one? This is gonna be good. Oh, look at that. It's just nice and soft. Let's give it a taste. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is just cut off the meat here from the bone. So I'm just gonna cut it down the middle and then cut it off, and then we'll give it a taste. Let's make sure this one looks nice. So let's do that. Oh man, that knife just goes right through there with no effort at all. Let's split the, let's come this way and then off the bone. Man, all that moisture in here. So this is the rib here. Cut a piece. And then we're gonna give this is the rib meat here. We're gonna give this a taste. All right, we're gonna try this rib with that North Texas BBQ Addict rub from Brother Kenneth. Got the wifey off camera also.
Hello.
Let's here, salute. Cheers. There's a little sweetness there that I wasn't expecting. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like the bark.
Nice smoke ring. You can pick that up. Nice bark.
It's got a great flavor.
Yeah, it does.
But it's a little sweet.
It is, huh?
But it's not like...
Yeah, I have to look at the ingredients. I don't know where I put the bottle, but I'm gonna have to look at the ingredients. And, oh, here it is.
It's good.
Let's see if I can find some of the ingredients. I don't think it's gonna, oh. So you got kosher salt. Okay, light brown sugar is the second ingredient. That's why I'm picking up the sweetness. For those of you who don't know, anytime you're reading a label, whatever ingredient is listed first on the label, it means that that's that product has the most of that ingredient in it. So the first label or the first ingredient was it kosher salt? I said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kosher salt. So which means this rub, the main ingredient is kosher salt. The second ingredient is that light brown sugar, which means that's the second most ingredient in the product. That's why I'm picking up that sweetness. I knew.
But it's subtle. It's not overpowering. It's
Yeah,
very light.
no.
It's,
Yeah, it gives a nice.
It's a surprise.
A nice sweet. I got some rib meat in my mouth. Sorry. It gives it an excuse me. It gives it a nice, like, sweet little flavor, but not overpowering. Not like maybe a pork rib would be. Yeah. But it definitely stands out. I like it.
It's good.
Sometimes beef can be sweet. It works well. Let me try it again. That rib just tore right apart.
I'm not crazy about beef ribs, but that's like a good flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew I was picking up the sweet. Second ingredient. That's some good stuff, you guys.
It's good.
So I know Kenneth. Let me finish this real quick. All right. Listen, I got to tell you that first time using the rub, I was pleasantly surprised. When I tasted it out of the bottle, it didn't taste that sweet. I was expecting it to be a little more on the salty, peppery side. I did notice the third ingredient on here is black pepper. So the top three ingredients, two of them are salt and pepper. But that sugar in there, that sweetness. So tasting out of the bottle, I didn't quite pick it up. But after you cook on it, it makes sense because that sugar starts to caramelize in the cooking process. So that's why I didn't taste it so much when I tasted it out of the bottle. But after you cook it and it caramelizes, then you definitely pick it up. As an all-purpose rub, I think this is excellent. In fact, I've got some briskets that I'm doing this weekend that I just may use this on. I will leave it linked if you guys are interested. I don't get a kickback or anything. Kenneth is just a buddy. And if we can help him out, then I'm all for it. One, I will leave a link to his YouTube page. Make sure you go over and subscribe there if you haven't already. Really cool channel. Two, I will leave a link to the Facebook group that he runs where you're able to get this. Now, I don't know what it runs. So I don't have any pricing for you, but you can go on there, contact them, and find out if you're interested. I'm pleasantly surprised with this rub. I really am. Anyway, links will be below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are staying safe. We will see you guys next time. Take care.